A huge part of having an online business, whether you're a coach or a blogger, a solopreneur, a consultant, a course creator, pretty much everything, is being able to put yourself out there and look the best that you can look online. And in the past, it was kind of okay to take a random photo where maybe you had a friend or an ex-boyfriend kind of chopped out and you would stick that on your website. But today, that's not acceptable. Even for Facebook, I don't see people doing that. You are a professional business. You're demanding professional level pricing, you're delivering high quality work, and as such, you want to make sure people get to know you, like you, and trust you online. And it's really hard to do that when they've never met you, or maybe they've never heard of you, and maybe you came to them through a cold introduction, say through a Facebook targeted ad, a YouTube ad, or something else, or maybe a download from a collaboration. So you instantly want to try to build some rapport. And, like they say, a picture is worth 1,000 words, and so is yours. So let's talk today just about how to prepare for that photo shoot. And that can be a photo shoot with a professional photographer. It can be with your friend who is studying photography, somebody who has a good camera. And we'll talk also about hair and makeup, what you should wear, what you should not wear, how much jewelry you should have on, what type of poses you should do. So all of that will be covered today. And this is actually a small excerpt from my Photography 101, which is a mini course inside Beautiful Branding. So Beautiful Branding is all about how to get up and running really quick, how to choose your fonts, how to choose your colors. So it goes into color psychology, how to create a branding guide so you don't have to create all of your end marketing materials. You can actually hand it off to a designer who then already knows, the hex codes for your branding colors. They know what font choices you want. They understand their mission statement and the look and feel that you're going after, your mood board, everything is all included. The other thing that we're going to talk about today is how important photos are to your overall image to make sure that you get that right look. Because if you're paying for a photographer, it can be pretty expensive. I'll talk today about how much mine was, and we'll talk also about, all of the things that you should be checking off your list before you even go to meet with the photographer to make sure that you are ready. Hi everyone, I'm Lisa from Pretty Fabulous, and I help online businesses create beautiful digital downloads using Adobe InDesign. So if this sounds like you or something you might be interested, make sure to hit the subscribe button below, and I post new videos every Monday and Thursday. Now today we're doing a small excerpt from the bigger course called Beautiful Branding, which you can purchase online. I'll leave you a link. It is so valuable, I can't even tell you. I don't do branding anymore, but the same questions, I promise, come up over and over again. Which colors should I use? What are the best font combinations? And we talk all about that. What's a sans serif? What's a serif font? And that is all in simply just the branding part of the course. There's an entirely new section just on photography. This is just one small piece of it. And then there is another entirely different part just on color psychology, because I think it is so important. You also get an entire mood board that we will go through, and I will show you exactly how to edit that. Now, I don't usually use Photoshop, but I think that is the best tool for creating your mood board. And then we'll also go through and I will help you. I give you the actual Photoshop templates to create all of your online marketing material, whether it is your Facebook channel art, I guess it's called cover art, your YouTube channel art, your Twitter header. All of those things are already included inside that course. So it's really valuable. It just kind of gets you up and running, and so you can get going online to look beautiful and to look great and to have a brand that you really love. So let's go ahead and jump into today and start talking about what you need to do to prepare for the photo shoot. And I've also included a link for you below if you would like the cheat sheet checklist for today's photo shoot prep. Hi everyone, and welcome to Photography, where we are going to talk about how to get really amazing photos of yourself for your website to use on all of your profiles and your cover art and pretty much anything else that requires a headshot of you. Now, we are going to break this lecture into 4 parts, and the first part we're just going to talk about prepping for the photo shoot. The second, we're going to talk about selecting a photographer and locations. And the third, we're going to talk about the actual photo shoot and what you need to do and what you need to bring with. And last, we are going to talk about what to do when you get the photos back and how you are going to work that out with your photographer. All right? Hi everyone, let's talk about part 1, which is just getting ready for your photo shoot. And there's so much stuff to do, and I don't mean getting ready the day of. I am talking about getting ready a couple weeks before, at least a few days before, so that you are ready to go that day. I am going to assume that you want the most bang for your buck, so when you go to that photo shoot, just assume you're going to get a headshot, a 3/4 shot, a full body shot, and some lifestyle photos. I mean, as long as you're already there, I promise the photographer will shoot the pictures as long as you are ready to go. It's not a big deal for them to reset up for those different shots. Now, when I talk about clothing, I want you to pick out clothing that you know you look good in a photo. Now, don't think about real life. Real life and photos are 2 different worlds. Think of it as another dimension that you have crossed over into. It is nothing like the other dimension that you were in before. So, and a good example of this would be a cold shoulder, right? So those are very popular right now. Cold shoulder is the shirts where the shoulders are cut out. Those do not look that good in photos, and I promise you it is a trend that is going away soon. And now you're going to be stuck with these trendy photos that are no longer useful. So try to pick classic items. Do not wear t-shirt cotton. It kind of looks a little cheap unless you are super young and you write about young adults, and that kind of fits the grungy look of maybe your characters or your books. Then that is okay, but anybody else, just don't do it. The other thing too is when you are in the sunlight, and in fact there's some sunlight streaming here into my apartment, and it looks very different than when I'm not in the sunlight. So I would experiment. I don't know if you're filming indoors or outdoors, but some people look better outdoors. I know I look much better in natural sunlight, not direct sunlight, but you know, sort of towards the end of the day. And you know, the clothing that I wear and those are very different. So depending on where you're going, you know, I don't know if you have children or a friend, take a friend with you, take a bunch of shirts that you're planning on wearing, and just have them snap some photos for you. And don't worry about posing too much. You're just checking to make sure you look good in those colors, you look good in those different fabrics, and actually it could be a good opportunity to pose, so I take that back. Especially when you get in front of a camera, I don't know why everyone always says, what do I do? And you know, you should do a full-on headshot. You should do some 3/4 like angled shots. You should do some with, you know, your arms up. You should do some with maybe your arms crossed. Those are a good idea for your photos. So try that out in the clothes that you're wearing and see how those look. Again, and I know I've said this a million times, do not wear any shirts that have cleavage. I forbid it. It is a huge no-no. This is not Tinder. It looks tacky. So just don't do it. The other thing too is when you think about accessories, wear 1 to 3. Don't wear a ton of accessories. And you know what? If your wedding band is gold and you have a look that looks better with silver jewelry, then just take it off. It's not a big deal. Your husband won't care. It is all about just looking good in that photo. Now, the reason that you care about your rings is because when you start taking some of those lifestyle photos I mentioned, which is you on a laptop, you writing in a notebook, you holding up an iPad, you reading a book, you're going to see your hands. So, you know, the day of the shoot, maybe, or before the shoot, get a nice manicure. And when I say manicure, don't get colors, just get something like a French manicure or a neutral pink, because your colors are going to contrast or they might stand out. And it's not about your manicure or your pedicure if you're going with sandals. It is about about you and just looking polished and professional. And those colors anyway might be dated. I know there's tons of fun fingernail polish colors that I've worn that I wouldn't be caught dead in today. So another thing too, just think about things that won't be dated very quickly. And jewelry has a high potential for being dated very quickly. So remember, less is more, especially those huge overpowering earrings, or I see some people where, you know, basically they're just wearing a shirt to accentuate their jewelry. Maybe they have like a 5-stack necklace with a ton of jewelry and beads and who knows, hanging off the bottom of it. That is not what you are going to do for your photo shoot. So let's also talk about shoes. And you are going to need a full body shot. You just never know when you might need one. You know, a really good pose, if you look in People magazine or us, celebrities have this down to a science. Don't stand with your legs apart or cock one knee or cock your hip. Everyone looks good with their legs crossed in front like this. You'll see it in every magazine, especially if you are wearing a dress. Now, your shoes, this is really important because the shoes that you go out in for a live event can look a little tattered, maybe have some scuff marks on them, but a photo shoot where you are having a full body shot and you're going to see your shoes should have brand new immaculate shoes. I can't emphasize this enough. Go to the store, buy a pair of shoes that match it. Don't wear them anywhere, just wear them for the photo shoot. The bottoms won't be scuffed, and then return them later. And I know that sounds controversial, but do it, because I guarantee when your shoes look a little scuffed and rough, it's going to ruin the whole shoot. And even, you know, when girls wear pumps, because of the way it breaks, the pump breaks, it has sort of that crease in it. I know you know what I'm talking about. When they get kind of old, don't wear those. It just looks tacky. It ruins the rest of the photo. That's all people can look at that point. So I would strongly advise not to do it. Again, think about the whole photo and what it looks like static. It is not a live event. It is the photograph world, which is very different from the live event world and slightly different from the video world as well. Let's talk about your face, hair, makeup. The first thing you should know is makeup. I would get a professional makeup person to do your makeup, because sometimes, I'm sure you've heard this, that you should wear more makeup for the photo shoot, but how much makeup, right? So you don't want to overdo it where it kind of looks tacky, or it just looks like you're wearing lots and lots of eyeliner and that's it. You know, I am definitely not someone who is good at makeup for photo shoots, because I don't do it a lot, right? I'm not a model, and I'm guessing you are not either. So the best thing I would suggest is hiring a makeup artist. So I hired a makeup artist who also just luckily happened to do hair, and make sure you practice with them at least one time, if not two, to make sure they get the exact look and feel that is going to be most complimentary to you and in photos. And after they do those experimental sessions, take some photos and see how they look, and look at them later and make sure that's what you want to be in the final product. The other thing too is, if you don't have enough money to hire your own personal makeup artist, you could go to Sephora the day of the shoot and have them do your makeup. And they will do your makeup, I think for $50 you can get the whole face done, and then that $50 actually you can use as a credit in the store to buy something. So to me it's a wash. I guarantee you will find stuff in Sephora to buy. I know you're saying, oh, but I only buy drugstore stuff, and that's fine. I wear a ton of drugstore makeup as well, but the drugstore can't do your makeup for you. And you know, the other thing you could do is department stores like Macy's or Saks Fifth Avenue or Neiman Marcus. The makeup women at the counters typically work for Bobbi Brown or Estee Lauder, and so they don't necessarily work for the department store. So you could book an appointment there, and they're usually less expensive, and sometimes they'll just do your makeup for free, again, if you're going to make a large makeup purchase, or you could just hire them, or sometimes they actually have bookings now where they will do your makeup for an event there at the department store. And of course, you could also always ask them, hey, you know, do you care if you just come over to my house or meet me at the photographer's studio the day of the shoot and do my makeup for me? And most likely they'll say yes. So Anyway, so those are options that you could try. I definitely wouldn't advise doing your own makeup, only because it's a one-time shot. It's photos, you just don't know what's going to look best on camera, and somebody else will know that a little bit better than you. The second thing with hair, same thing, just follow the same process for your hair. There are tons of dry bar salons that do blowouts, and if you do not have a dry bar near you, I'm pretty sure Dry Bar has made it such that every salon right now offers blowout services. It's just an assumption. It's just something that everybody is offering right now. And if you have long hair, wear it down. Do not wear it up. Remember, we talked about live events and photos, and when you wear your hair up, I don't know why, it just doesn't look as cute. So maybe this looks really cute in real life, but in a photo, it just kind of looks odd, right? It's not as complimentary to your face. And the other thing too is don't wear a lot of hair accessories, right? This is not the prom, which is like a live event where you can put lots of beads and it looks really cute. That is live event world. That is not photo world. So don't put any accessories in your hair. And if you have short hair too and you like pulling this back, don't do it. Just figure a way with the hair person, or I don't know, don't try pinning your hair up. It's just not going to look complimentary in photos. The other thing too is your teeth. You want to make sure your teeth are as white as can be, and yes, you are going to be smiling and using your teeth. So if you drink a lot of coffee or tea, I'm not sure what, maybe you could try some whitening strips a few days before. Go to the dentist, see if you can get your teeth bleached, or sometimes if you get a spray tan as well, right? Your face, because it's darker, the contrast will make your teeth look a little whiter. The same thing goes. I can't think of anything else. Make sure your eyebrows, everything is waxed and ready to go. Your nails. So let's talk about that, because you are going to be using your laptop, or you're going to be reading a book for some of those stage sort of photos, and you do not want, that is not the time to get a really purple, your favorite color purple or coral or red or something else like that. You want to go as natural as possible, because the photo shoot is not about your manicure, pedicure. You are not a hand model. This is simply about looking polished. So the grunge or whatever under your nails, or your misshapen nails, like you have a really long one or really short one, this is not the time to do it. In fact, if you have one short nail and you've been trying to grow a ton of them out, and you're not going to get, what are they called, wraps or whatever, cut them all down really short so that they're all uniform, and go with either a French manicure or a very nude, natural color. So again, just think you want your photos to last as long as possible, and you don't want to have them dated. I think that covers everything. So we'll talk about the things to pack when we talk about the day of the photo shoot, but that's it for things that you should be preparing for between now and then. Oh, there's one other thing I should mention. Your laptop for your stage sort of lifestyle photo, make sure you have a new modern looking laptop. Think Apple's, borrow one. If you have to, do not use your Toshiba 1994 laptop. I don't care how great it performs or how cute you think it is. It's not going to look great in a photo, and it's just going to make you look dated and make the photo just look old. So don't do it. All right, that's it. I will see you in the next video.